Welcome to Wings of Fire Dreams. Today we are going to see the family tree of Vijayanagara Kingdom. Vijayanagara was the first South Indian state to have encompassed three major linguistic and cultural regions. The administration of the kingdom sporadically achieved a relatively high degree of centralization. Harihara I and Bukaraya was the son of Bhavana Sangama and Marayi Nakiti. Harihara I is also called as Hakka and Veera Harihara, was the founder of Vijayanagara Empire, which he ruled from 1336 to 1356. He and his successors formed the Sangama dynasty, the first of four dynasties to rule the empire. He was Bhamana Sangama's eldest son, and Bukaraya was his second son. To the five Rajias held by the Sangama brothers, new ones were added as territories. Harihara was fully conscious of the dangers which the infant state faced both from its neighbors and the Delhi sultans. He strengthened the old fort of Badami as a protection against invasions from Delhi rulers. He was fortified Guti in Anandpur district as a safeguard against Hosala kingdoms. He also converted Udayagiri into a strong fort and placed his younger brother Kampana in charge of it. Harihara I was succeeded by his brother Bukka I, who emerged as the most distinguished among the five rulers, Panchasangamas of the Sangama dynasty. Under Bukkaraya I's 21-year reign, the kingdom prospered and continued to expand as Bukkaraya conquered most of the kingdoms of southern India. He defeated the Sambhuvaraya kingdom of Arcad and the Reddis of Kondavidu by 1360, and the region around Penakonda was annexed. Bukka defeated the Sultanate of Madurai in 1371 and extended his territory into the south all the way to Rameswaram. His son Kumara Kampana campaigned with him, and their efforts were recorded in the Sanskrit work Madura Vijayam, also known as Veerakamparaya Charitram, written by his wife Gangambika. By 1374, he had gained an upper hand over the Bahmanis for the control of Tungabhadra Krishna Doab, and also took the control of Goa. The kingdom of Odisha were also captured, and Bukka forced the Jaffna kingdom of Ceylon and the Zamorin of Malabar to pay tributes to him. Bukka died in about 1380 and was succeeded by his son Harihara II. During Harihara II's reign, he continued to extend the kingdom's territory through fighting against the Reddis of Kondavidu for control of Andhra between Nellore and Kalinga. From the Reddis of Kondavidu, Harihara II conquered Adanki and Srisailam areas as well as most of the territory between the peninsula to the south of the river Krishna. Harihara II ruled from the capital Vijayanagara, now popularly known as Hampi. Harihara II was succeeded by Virupaksharaya. With the death of Harihara II in 1404, the throne of the Vijayanagara Empire was disputed among his sons Devaraya I, Bukkaraya II, and Virupaksharaya. First, Virupaksharaya managed to rule for a few months before he was murdered by his own sons. Bukkaraya II then succeeded Virupaksharaya as emperor of the Vijayanagar Empire. However, similar to his brother before him, Bukkaraya II only reigned for a short time period before he too was overthrown by his brother Devaraya I, who took the throne. Devaraya I was a very capable ruler, noted for his military exploits and his support to irrigation works in his kingdom. He modernized the Vijayanagara army by improving the cavalry, employed skilled archers of the Turkish clan, and raised the fighting capacity of his bowmen. Of Devaraya I, the Italian traveler Nicola Conti, who visited the Vijayanagara, described the city as, "In this city there are 90,000 men fit to bear arms. Their king is more powerful than all the kings of India." Madhura, a noted Jain poet, was in his court and wrote in Kannada the Dharmanatha Purana on the life of the 15th Jain Tirthankar. The noted Hazare Rama temple, an excellent example of Deccan architecture, was constructed during his rule. Devaraya was to be succeeded by his son Ramachandra Raya. Ramachandra Raya was the eldest son of Devaraya I. He became ruler of the Vijayanagara Empire after his father's death in 1422. Throughout his reign, there were no recorded significant changes in territory or major events. Afterwards, he was succeeded by his brother Veera Vijaya Bukkaraya or Bukkaraya III in the same year, who was not noted for doing anything significant. Then Bukkaraya III was succeeded by his son Devaraya II, the greatest of the Sangama dynasty rulers. He was an able administrator, warrior, and scholar. He authored well-known works in the Kannada language and in the Sanskrit language. He was patron to some of the most noted Kannada poets of the medieval period, including Chamaraja and Kumaravasaya. According to the historian Sastri, Devaraya II had the title of Gajabitagara, which literally means hunter of elephants, an honorific that explained his addiction to hunting elephants, or a metaphor or referring to his victories against enemies who were as strong as elephants. Devaraya II's rule is the golden age in the history of South India and in particular that of Karnataka. Even as a crown prince in 1423, he had tasted success in battle against Bahmani Sultanate, forcing them to switch capitals to Bidar. Devaraya II fought three important battles against Gajapatis of Odisha, against King Bhanudeva in the Battle of Kondavedu, against King Kapilendra when the latter tried to conquer Rajamahendri. Devaraya II was succeeded by his son Mallikarjuna Raya. At the end of his reign, Mallikarjuna Raya was unlike his father and was generally a weak and corrupt ruler. The Gajapatis conquered Rajamahendri in 1454 and Udaygiri and Chandragiri. The Bahmani kingdoms took over much of the Vijayanagar Empire by 1450 and grew closer to the capital. At the same time, the Portuguese arrived in southern India, seizing many of the ports on the western coast that the Vijayanagara Empire had once controlled. These events eventually led to the decline of the Sangama dynasty. Mallikarjuna Raya's nephew Virupaksharaya II took the opportunity to seize the throne, though he failed to prove a better ruler one. Virupaksharaya II was no more of a better ruler than his predecessor. Throughout his reign, Virupaksha was faced with rebellious nobles and officers as well as multiple enemies who began to invade the weakened kingdom. It was during this time that Virupaksharaya II lost the Konkan coast and the Bahmani kingdom, who was sent to conquer the area by the Sultan Muhammad Shah III. The Bahmani Sultan would also invade Doab of Krishna and Tungabhadra, and the Raja Purushottama Gajapati of Odisha invaded Tiruvannamalai. Because of these losses, Virupaksha became increasingly unpopular and ignited many of the empire's provinces to rebel, eventually leading up to Virupaksha's death in the hands of his own son. Parudraya in 1455 was the successor of Virupaksharaya II. Parudraya himself was not able to salvage the kingdom, but an able general, Saluva Narasimha, took control of the empire in 1485 and helped to prevent its demise, though this change of power marked the end of the Sangama dynasty and the beginning of Saluva dynasty. In 1452, Saluva was given the title Mahamandaleshwara of Chandragiri during the reign of Mallikarjuna Raya. His father Saluva Gunda was the governor of Chandragiri. After the death of Virupaksharaya II and arrival of Parudadeva as the new monarch of Vijayanagar, the empire plunged into neglect and anarchy. Seeing that a military corps was the only hope to save the kingdom, he dispatched the son of Tuluva Ishwara, Tuluva Narasanayaka, to the imperial capital of Vijayanagara. The incumbent king Parudraya fell, thus starting the rule of Saluva Narasimha. As a king, Saluva Narasimha Nayaka tried to expand the empire, though he continually faced difficulties caused from rebellion chieftains. By 1419, he lost Udaygiri to Gajapatis, while the chiefs of Umathur in the Mysore regions, Saluvas of Hadavalli, and Santaras of Karkala from Karnataka still remain threats to the empire. Saluva Narasimha's war with Gajapatis over Udaygiri in 1489 proved disastrous when he was taken as prisoner and released later after giving up the fort and surrounding areas to the Gajapatis of Orissa. Dimma Bhupala was the eldest son of Saluva Narasimha Raya, the king of Vijayanagara Empire. During the reign of his father, he was holding the office of Yuvaraja. Prince Dimma was soon murdered by an army commander during a period of political unrest in Vijayanagara. He was succeeded by his younger brother Narasimha Raya II. Narasimha Raya II, also known as Immadi Narasimha Raya or Damadimma Raya, was the third and last ruler of Saluva dynasty. Thus, Narasimha II came to the throne following the violent death of his elder brother. He was only a teenager when he became emperor of the Vijayanagara Empire, and real power lay in the hands of his guardian, Tuluva Narasanayaka. This situation continued for 12 years until Tuluva Narasimha Nayaka died in 1503. By this time, Narasimha was an adult and there was no justification for the appointment of a regent. Nevertheless, the late regent's eldest son, Tuluva Veera Narasimha Raya, remained the power behind the throne due to his control of the army. He compelled Narasimha to name him Dalawai, commander-in-chief of the army, and also Sarvadhikari, the administrator general. Thereby developed an atmosphere of great tension between the two Narasimhas, Emperor Saluva Narasimha II and his minister Tuluva Veera Narasimha. Both of them considered that they had a greater right to rule the state. After all, Narasimha had become emperor only because his father had usurped the throne, and that also very recently. That usurpation had in fact been made possible by the efforts and resourcefulness of his trusted general, Tuluva Narasanayaka, who had captured the capital in the name of his master. Not only that, but Tuluva Narasanayaka had also later pacified the country, suppressed the supporters of the old Sangama dynasty, and maintained order during the ministry of the usurper's two sons. With all his backgrounds, Tuluva Veera Narasimha felt that he had a greater right to the rule than Emperor Narasimha. Why should he and his sons and grandsons be no more than the courtiers serving the upstart dynasty, which had been established mainly by the efforts of his own father? The situation was fraught with tension and many resentments. Finally, in 1505, only 2 years after the death of the old regent, Tuluva Narasanayaka, Emperor Saluva Narasimha was assassinated at his fortress of Penakonda, probably by henchmen of Veera Narasimha. With his death ended the reign of Saluva dynasty, whose three emperors, father and two sons, had reigned for a total of only 20 years. Upon Narasimha's death, Dalawai, Tuluva Veera Narasimha Raya, was proclaimed as Emperor of Vijayanagara and the Tuluva dynasty came to the throne. It was to rule for the next 60 years until the Battle of Talikota in 1565. Veera Narasimha Raya, also known as Veera Narasimha III, became the king of Vijayanagara Empire after the death of Tuluva Narasanayaka. Krishnadevaraya was his younger half-brother. In 1509, when on his deathbed, legend has it that Veera Narasimha Raya requested his minister Saluvadhimma to blind his younger brother Krishnadevaraya so that his own 8-year-old son could become king of Vijayanagar. Timmarasa, however, brought a pair of she-goat eyes at the king and informed that he had Krishnadevaraya killed. Krishnadevaraya was the third ruler of the Tuluva dynasty and is considered to be its greatest ruler. He possessed the largest empire in India after the decline of Delhi Sultanate. His main enemies were the Bahmani Sultans, the Gajapatis of Odisha, who had been involved in constant conflict since the rule of Saluva Narasimhadevaraya, and the Portuguese, a rising maritime power which controlled much of the sea trade. The annual affair of the raid and the plunder of Vijayanagar towns and villages by the Deccan Sultan came to an end during the Raya's rule. In 1509, Krishnadevaraya's armies clashed with the Sultan Samshuddin Zafar Khan of Bijapur at Divani, and the Sultan Mahmud was severely injured and defeated. Yusuf Adil Shah were killed and the Raichur Doab was annexed. Taking advantage of the victory, the Raya reunited Bidar, Gulbarga and Bijapur into Vijayanagara and earned the title the establisher of the Yavana kingdom. In 1524, Krishnadevaraya made his son Tirumala Raya the Yuvaraja, the crown prince. The prince did not survive for long. He was poisoned to death. Suspecting the involvement of Timmarasu, Krishnadevaraya had his trusted commander and advisor blinded. At the same time, Krishnadevaraya was preparing for an attack at Belgaum, which was in the Adil Shah's possession. Around this time, Krishnadevaraya took seriously ill. He died soon after in 1529. Before his death, he nominated his brother Achyutadevaraya as his successor. The time when Achyutadevaraya became the king was by no means a favorable one. The peace and the prosperity of the nation under Krishnadevaraya were coming to an end. Feudatories and enemies were waiting for an opportunity to bring down the empire. In addition, Achyutadevaraya had to contend with the powerful Alya Ramaraya, who was competing for the throne. Fernando Nunes was a Portuguese traveler, chronicler, and horse trader who visited India during the reign of Achyutaraya and who spent 3 years in the Vijayanagara. He patronized Kannada poet Chattu Vitalanada, a great composer and singer, and the Sanskrit scholar Rajanada Dindima too. While the works of Nunes speak very lowly of Achyutadevaraya as being a king to the vices and cruelty, there is no evidence to prove that the king was indeed noteworthy in his own right and fought hard to keep the prosperity of the kingdom alive. The two Sanskrit works, Achyutabhayadam and Varadikaraniyam, describes the king's life and rule in detail. Throughout his rule, Achyutadevaraya had to contend with the manipulations of Ramaraya, who in his powerful capacity had replaced many of the faithful servants of the kingdom in high ranking positions with men of his own favor. On more than one occasion, the Bahmani sultans were brought into play the role of the mediator between the king and the Alaya Ramaraya in the game of power sharing. This would further weaken the kingdom. Around 1540, Alaya Ramaraya imprisons Achyuta Devaraya as a cop. The Tiruvalanganatha temple was built at Vijayanagara during his reign. It was become popularly known by his name, Achyutaraya Temple, rather than the name of the deity Lord Venkateswara, to whom the temple was dedicated. Achyutadevaraya was succeeded by his son Venkata I and his maternal uncle Salakaraju, who is also known as Chinna Tirumala. The later, the Salakaraju killed all the claimants to the throne, including Venkata I, and assumed full royal powers. Only Sadashivaraya, son of Rangaraya, who had hidden himself in the fort of Gutti, escaped. As soon as Salakaraju heard about the plans of Alaya Ramaraya and his brothers Thirumalaraya and Venkatagiri to dethrone him, he invited Ibrahim Adil Shah I and placed him on the throne for 7 days. This was too much for the nobles of Vijayanagar to tolerate, but they acted cleverly, offered full support to Salakaraju, and requested him to send away Ibrahim Adil Shah, which he did after paying him a suitable compensation. In 1543, Ramaraya and his supporters now marched into Vijayanagar, killed Salakaraju, and placed Sadasivaraya on the throne. Ramaraya, known as Alaya and Mahamandaleshwara Alludu, was a Telugu statesman of Vijayanagar Empire, the son-in-law of Krishnadevaraya and the propagator of the Aravidu dynasty of the Vijayanagar Empire, the fourth and the last dynasty of the empire. Alaya Ramaraya rose to power following a civil war with the help of Pemashi Erra Timmavadu. As regent, he was the de facto ruler of the empire, although legally the emperor during this period was Sadasivaraya, who was merely a puppet ruler. Ramaraya was killed at the Battle of Talikota, after which Vijayanagar went into a long period of decline and eventual collapse. In the wake of this disaster, Ramaraya was killed in the battlefield and his brother Tirumala Devaraya fled from the battlefield to Vijayanagar. He carried major portion of the wealth of the empire along with the puppet king Sadasivaraya to Penukonda and tried to re-establish order in the empire. Later he shifted his capital to Chandragiri. With the massacre of nearly all other prominent members of the royal family and given the prestige that Ramaraya had long enjoyed at court and among the nobility, it soon came to pass that his family inherited by default the position held it by royal family. Thus was the Aravidu dynasty of emperors born. Sriranga Devaraya, also known as Sriranga I, was the eldest son of Tirumala Devaraya and a king of Vijayanagara Empire based on Penukonda. He carried the restoration of Vijayanagara Empire, but his reign was marred with repeated attacks and the loss of territories from his Muslim neighbors. In 1576, the Bijapur Sultan Ali Adil Shah I laid siege to his fort in Penukonda for 3 months, but at the end, Srirangadeva defeated Adil Shah, which helped him commanders defeat the Sultan's armies at that time. His reign of 3 decades saw a revival of the strength and prosperity of the empire. He dealt successfully with the Deccan Sultans of Bijapur and Golconda. Around 1592, Venkatapati shifted his capital from Penukonda to Chandragiri, which was further south near Tirupati Hills. After 1604, he shifted capital from Chandragiri to Velur Fort, which was based a major base. Venkatapati, in spite of having several queens, did not have a son. He since appointed Sriranga II as the son of his older brother Rama as his successor. This was done to prevent one of his favorite queen Bayama, who practiced a fraud on the king by borrowing a baby of the Brahmin and calling it as her own. Venkatapati Raya, knowing the controversial status of the so-called heir apparent, appointed Sriranga II, the son of the viceregal brother of Rama, as his successor. Venkatapati Raya died in October 1614 and was succeeded by Sriranga II. Sriranga was supported by a faction headed by Yechamma Naidu of Racharla Velama dynasty, one of the Venkata II's loyal viceroys and commanders, and Nayak of Venkatagiri. The presence of a putative heir of former King Venkata II further worsened matter. Jagaraya, with two of his lieutenants, seized Sriranga II and his family and threw them into prison at Vellore Fort and crowned the namesake son of the former emperor. Yechamma Naidu opposed the plans of Jagaraya and, with the help of washermen, smuggled Sriranga's 12 years second son Rama from the fort. Ramadeva escaped from the massacre to become the next king of Vijayanagara. After winning a gruesome war of succession, Battle of Thopur in 1617, Jagaraya made a claim of a putative son of Venkata II's queens as a king, which was strongly challenged by Yechamma Naidu, the leading general in the imperial army and the Nayak of Kalahasti, who claimed the throne of Ramadeva, the rightful heir. In the long drawn battle between the two factions, in which the whole of the kingdom took part, Jagaraya was slain, and his Gobari estates in southwest in the present day Chennai, Chengalpet, was seized by Yechamma Naidu. Battle of Thopur. The defeated Jagaraya sought refuge in the jungle and bounced back and sought help from Nayaks of Jinji and Madurai, both eager to get out of the Vijayanagar bond to attack Yechamma Naidu and Ramadeva. Yechamma Naidu and Ramadeva sought support from the Tanjavur Nayaks, who still treated the Vijayanagar as their authority. In the battle, Jagaraya troops could not withstand the aggressions generated by the imperial forces. Yechamma and Raghunatha, the generals of the imperial camp, led their forces with great discipline. Jagaraya was slain by Yechamma, and his army broke the ranks and took flight. Ethiraja, the brother of Jagaraya, had to run for his life. The Nayaka chieftain of Madurai tried to escape. He was pursued by Yechamma's general Raudama Naini, who captured him near Tiruchirappalli. The victory was celebrated by the imperial armies headed by Tanjavur Nayak and Yechamma Naidu, who planted pillars of victories and crowned Ramadeva as Ramadeva Raya in early months of 1617. Ramadeva Raya was barely 15 years old when he ascended the throne. Ramadeva Raya, with no brothers and sons, nominated Padda Venkata Raya, Venkata III, grandson of Alaya Ramaraya, now governing Anikonda, as successor, and died on 1632. His brothers-in-law were Damarla Venkatappa Nayaka and Damarla Ayyappa Nayaka, both sons of Damarla Channappa Nayakadu. His paternal uncle Timmaraja, another brother of Sriranga II, considering himself have a better claim, seized the government at Vellore fort, compelling Venkata III to remain in his native Anaconda. The Nayaks of Jinji, Tanjavur and Madurai declared support for Venkata III, while Timmaraja got support from no one and was looked upon as a usurper. Timmaraja nevertheless made a lot of trouble, and civil strife continued until his death in 1635. Initially, he was winning until the king Pedavenkata's nephew Sriranga III took to the field and defeated Timmaraja with the help from Dutch in Pulicat, compelling him to accept Venkata III's claim. Timaraja was allowed some territories under his control but stirred up trouble for a second time, only to be slain by the Nayak of Jinji. Peace was finally restored and Pedavenkataraya or Venkata III returned to Vellore to take charge. Venkata III had no son and was immediately succeeded by his treacherous nephew Sriranga III, who became to Vellore IV after deserting the Bijapur camp. Sriranga III was the last ruler of the Vijayanagar Empire, who came into power in 1642 following the death of his uncle Venkata III. He was also a great grandson of Alaya Ramaraya. Before his accession to the throne, Sriranga III was in rebellion against his uncle Venkata III. He sought help from Bijapur Sultan and attacked Venkata III in Chandragiri. Another invasion of these two in 1642 was defeated by Venkata III's army, who were also forcing Golconda's armies near Madrasi. Under this troublesome circumstance, Venkata III died and Sriranga III, who was with Bijapur army, deserted them and returned to Vellore and made himself the king of Vijayanagara. Sriranga III brought the English East India Company into South India. In 1646, Sriranga III collected a large army with the help of Mysore, Jinji and Tanjavur and met the Golconda forces. In 1652, Sriranga III was left with only Vellore fort, which was finally seized by the Golconda forces. The Mysore ruler Kandivara Narasaraja I still recognized Sriranga as a namesake emperor, and Sriranga died in 1678 as an emperor without an empire, putting an end to over 3 centuries of Vijayanagara rule in India. Sriranga's only daughter was married to Sri Vallabha, a descendant of Narasimharaya. There were other rulers next to Sriranga III. They were Kodendra Rama I and Tirumala, and their sons Pedavenkata IV and Sriranga IV. These were rulers only for the name's sake. Welcome to Wings of Fire.